Hello, friends. Welcome back to another episode of the Juicebox Podcast. I know a lot of you aren't into Facebook and other social media, but it doesn't mean there's not good information over there. So I thought maybe I would bring some of the wisdom from Facebook to the podcast. Today, we're going to be talking about driving with diabetes. This is a short episode, just a few minutes, but it has a ton of great examples from real listeners and people just like you. They're going to let us know what they do. When you're done, maybe you'll have a new idea that will help you. Please don't forget that nothing you hear on the Juicebox Podcast should be considered advice, medical or otherwise. Always consult a physician before making any changes to your healthcare plan or becoming bold with insulin. This episode is ad-free, but there are a ton of great advertisers that are supporting the show. You can click on the links in the show notes of your podcast player or find links at Juicebox Podcast to everybody who is supporting the show. If you're enjoying getting it for free, you have them to thank. So if you need one of their devices or services, it would be great if you used my links to check them out. Put together a list of best practices before you drive with type 1 diabetes, and then put that list into the Facebook group and ask people to add to it. Here's what we got. My list was pretty simple. Make sure your blood sugar is, somewhere between 90 and 200, whatever, wherever you're comfortable. That you've checked your CGM trend arrows and you're not seeing a drop. That you have fast-acting carbs within reach in the car, juice, tablets, gummies, that kind of stuff. You want to have glucagon in your car. Make sure it's not expired. You also kind of want to make sure you're not recovering from a recent low blood sugar. You want to make sure you're stable and steady and that you're feeling your best. Are you wearing your medical ID bracelet? Is it visible? Is your phone charged? Is your CGM, your pump, all that stuff? You got plugs that you need, everything that's going to keep things powered and working. Now, during the drive, let's have the alerts turned up loud enough that you can hear them on your phone or on your devices. Does someone know you're out on the road, a friend or a family member? Have you explained glucagon to a passenger if somebody is with you? Make sure you feel safe, you're not stressed or rushed or overtired. You're on your way. If something is feeling wrong, try to pull over to address it. Please don't try to check your blood sugar while you're driving, or digging through for, if you can grab a juice box real quick or something, yeah, but if you're dropping fast, pull over, be safe, make sure you've recovered before you do anything else. And of course, pull over somewhere safe, put your four-ways on, get off the road if you can. Safety first, of course. Is there a meter and a test strip always in the car? Like maybe you keep them in your glove box for emergencies. How about your ice contact phone list? Do you have one of those lock screens where when somebody looks at it, goes, oh, in case of an emergency, call this person. Now let's see what other people added. Michelle says, I always have fast-acting glucose in reach. I check my blood sugar before I get behind the wheel. And for longer drives, blood sugars with trends displayed on my Apple CarPlay. That's nice, or on a dash cam, so that I know ahead of time if I need to pull over to give myself an adjustment, of the carbohydrates there. She said treat. It's funny because I don't use that word and it threw me off when I was talking. Does anybody have an indicator on their car? This person is concerned that if their daughter's ever pulled over and they're showing signs of a low, they want an officer to recognize it as a medical emergency. Now, I've heard people talk both ways about this. Like there's this wrap that can go around your seatbelt that has like a little patch on it that says type 1 diabetic. But some emergency services people will tell you that's always with the car. I don't know if that driver actually has type 1 or not, but still, it doesn't seem like a bad idea. But I'd say medical alert tags. I see what this is Katie. She's worried her kid's going to look like she's under the influence or something like that and get poor treatment. Some people did respond to that. Yeah. And said the same thing I did, which is that paramedics and law enforcement, they're not really looking at those little stickers that you could put on the window. And I mean, listen, it can't hurt, but I can't tell you for sure it's going to help. Curry says, I like to have a Life 360 app and someone monitoring me when I'm driving. She wants someone to know where she's at. Eddie says he likes someone to know his estimated time of arrival and of return. He likes to keep a flashlight with him in case he drops something, needs it for a blood sugar check or something like that. And for longer trips, Eddie carries a charging bank because cars can break down and power can go out. Extra pump supplies and CGM supplies as well. Steven said, Steven got a little note here. He said, before the group and the podcast, I'm unsure how I've been so fortunate. Was on shots, old-fashioned meters, A1C. I drove from Birmingham to West Virginia a couple times a year, heading for nice long drives, Thursdays with like 2 lunch boxes, one with drinks and snacks in it for a 7 or 8 hour drive, and the second with all my diabetes stuff. Had lemonade in my door, kept my pump on my lap, phone hanging up so that I can bounce between my map and my CGM. Let's see, I drive for a few hours at a time, but with automated insulin delivery now, the system, the risk isn't so great anymore. Yeah, I find the same thing. My daughter has driven from Georgia to New Jersey in a straight shot, 13, 14 hours and not had any trouble. And the algorithms definitely do help. Some people are talking about setting different low alarms. Like if your low alarm is usually set at 70, maybe if you're in the car, set it at, 85 or 90 so that you're falling. Got some people here talking about their kids are just getting ready to get their permits. They appreciate this. Christine, a friend knows I'm on the road. That's from the list I put together. And she said, I'm sorry, but I'm a grown-ass adult who lives alone, and the only time anyone knows where I am is if they're waiting for me at a restaurant. So this brought up an interesting bend in the conversation because a number of adults popped in to say, like, I don't do any of this stuff. So it was interesting to see 2 different perspectives. Jason said, I think keeping cash in the car is smart in case you need to stop somewhere to buy a snack. And I thought that was pretty brilliant too, because the worst thing that could happen is that you're having a problem, you pull over somewhere, and then you have no ability to pay. He is also a diabetic and says that he shares his location with his family all the time. And of course, both Android and iPhones have that feature. I think on iPhone, they call it Find My Family. Andy here says that if I've had a hypo, even if it's mild, like under 90, I don't drive for at least 45 minutes after stability and levels return to normal. He says if I go under 50, I don't drive for the whole day. Closer to diagnosis, your vision can be dramatically impaired. Test and monitor. Stressful driving conditions can mask true low blood sugars. Severe hypos needing assistance or DKA, both would effectively terminate your license for a period before medical professionals have deemed it. So there might be states where you could lose your license over an accident if you were impaired with a medical issue. Tammy brings this up too. Just because your blood sugar is at a safe level doesn't always mean the rest of you is. So if you're still, coming back from a low blood sugar, you might need more time. Rachel says, I always have Gatorade in my car. Eli can't believe anybody is doing any of this before they drive. There's a person here that said, I wish there were some more suggestions for extreme temperature situations. Sorry, we don't seem to have much of that here. Oh, I see what they're saying. You want to make sure you don't have stuff in your car to treat a low that's being frozen or melted so that you can't use it when you need it. That's interesting. And Nicole says, don't always trust your CGM. If you feel low, take the time to eat or drink something, do a finger stick, pull over, check on yourself, trust the way you feel. Don't just look at the thing and go, it said I was 85, so I guess I'm not really dizzy. She makes a great point. All right, guys, be safe out there. I say don't get into a car without knowing what your blood sugar is. I say have stuff with you all the time to treat lows with, liquid, sugary, gummy stuff. But to somebody else's point, it gets too hot, those things can melt. You definitely want to have glucagon with you while you're driving. The people who are with you should know what your situation is. And of course, you need to pull over and take care of yourself before something happens so quickly that you can't rebound from it. I am not going to tell you stories, but I have friends who have had terrible car accidents because of low blood sugars. And there's a young girl that's been on the podcast before, and she was direly injured from a low blood sugar just driving home from high school one day. So it's a big, heavy car and it's going fast, and please be safe. I know that Facebook has a bad reputation, but please give the private Facebook group for the Juicebox Podcast a healthy once over. Juicebox Podcast, Type 1 Diabetes. I can't thank you enough for listening. Please make sure you're subscribed or following in your audio app. I'll be back tomorrow with another episode of the Juicebox Podcast. Should I change this music? What do you think? Or have we just been using it for so long? Like, why bother? Dun, dun, dun. I don't know. Like, would it be more modern? Would you like to hear it with an instrument, like a guitar? I don't know. Let me know. I can't decide.